Melissa woke up cuddled into a soft blanket and pressed against a hard chest. After a moment, the familiar sounds brought her back to reality. Master Jeffrey was holding her. The knowledge was comforting, even though she didn't know him very well. Her entire body seemed to hum, especially where her bottom pressed against his legs. She was sore, and the feeling enveloped her in a pleasant burning sensation. "Do you need some water?" Realizing her mouth was dry, she nodded. An opened bottle pressed into her hand and she grabbed it, taking a sip. With the cool liquid, her world was slowly coming together again. Thank you." Frowning, she scanned the room. How long was I out? This didn't usually happen to her. Sure, she enjoyed aftercare, but she was usually alert after a scene. She'd seen other subs fall asleep, but it was still weird to think she'd just passed out in the middle of a busy club. "You snoozed for about 20 minutes, Master Jeffrey answered, his chest vibrating under her head. 20 minutes? She wasn't a small woman. Not that she had a problem with her figure, but her height alone meant that she wasn't as light as many other women. "I can get off your lap now if you want." "I'd prefer it if you stayed for a little while," Master Jeffrey answered, his arm wrapping closer around her. "Would you like a piece of chocolate?" Had any woman ever been able to resist chocolate after an orgasm like the one she'd just had? She took the piece Master Jeffrey offered, returning his smile. It was creamy milk chocolate that melted on her tongue. Delicious. As if Master Jeffrey had anticipated that the small piece had done little more than awaken her sweet tooth, 2 hot chocolates were delivered to their little nook at that moment. Master Jeffrey simply held her, while she carefully took the first few sips. It was a comforting feeling, being held while her body made sense of the lingering sensations from their scene. She'd finally been brave enough. Coming down from the high of the scene, she needed the physical closeness. Just like the warmth of the hot drink, the physical contact with Master Jeffrey lessened the effect of the endorphin crush. But, however comforting this moment was, she had to remember that for him this was nothing more than taking care of yet another submissive who asked him to scene with her. This hadn't been his first SM scene. His world hadn't just been rocked by her in the same way he had done for her. Actually, Jessica had all but forced her on him by explaining how desperately she needed to get over her fear of actually scening with a sadist. Mission accomplished. She'd done a scene with a sadist and it had been amazing. Unfortunately, she doubted this would make it any easier finding the right dom to scene with in the future. With Master Jeffrey's experience and sex appeal, it would be hard for anyone to compare. Of course, it wasn't about the attraction alone. She wanted someone for herself who matched both her personality and her kink, and she barely knew Master Jeffrey. Maybe she should be ashamed of that, but she'd gotten over prudish social convention a long time ago. "How are you feeling?" Master Jeffrey interrupted her thoughts. She felt alert now, more herself and more aware of the discomfort her undoubtedly red arse was causing. "I am good, sir." Taking her cup, Master Jeffrey placed it on the table and helped her climb off his lap and onto the couch next to him. Her body felt wobbly, needing more time than her head to regain full control. Or maybe it was her head that still didn't compute fast enough to send the correct impulses to her limbs. It didn't matter, because Master Jeffrey guided her, making sure she was safe. His low chuckle was less insulting than infectious, and she grinned at him. "Looks like I'm more of a subby pudding than I realized." "It appears that way." His gruff tone told her he liked the effect he had on her, and it was a stark reminder that he hadn't gotten anything out of the scene. Not like her, anyway. "May I do something for you?" she asked, realizing that she would enjoy the opportunity to prolong her time with him.